Ladies and gentlemen of UK Estate and Letting Agency, the words like game changer and disruptor get thrown around like willy-nilly in our estate and letting agency business. But at this moment in time, there are a couple of bits of prop tech where I'm not financially involved in terms of investing or even on commission in any way, but are true, genuine game changers, in my humble opinion, to help you in estate and letting agency land get more free valuations. And when you're actually at the free valuation, stop you losing listings to the competition and get you more listings on the back of it. I'm of the opinion that if you can show that you know what you're talking about, then people will be naturally attracted to you. And if you look at all the statistics, the EA Masters have their home buyers and sellers guide survey of over 20,000 vendors every year. And one of the biggest things that people judge an estate agent on is whether the agent is knowledgeable about the property market. Today, I'm joined by Matthew from Bricks and Logic, and he has a bit of kit that I just love. It makes you look like you know what you're talking about. It makes you look like you know I won't say that word, but we all know what I said. Matthew, you've got Bricks and Logic. Let's show us in no more than 5 or 6 minutes how awesome this bit of kit is. And I must stress to you, I'm not being paid to do this. I'm not receiving anything, any consideration. I just love this to bits. Over to you, Matthew, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much, Chris. I will share my screen and we will send you a Christmas card
Bless
for
you.
all this. So thank you very much. Hello, everyone. As Chris said, I think the key reason why we're here and we exist, and indeed many others are, because lots and lots of vendors, homeowners, before they become vendors, are interested in data, and increasingly so as obviously time goes on. The vendor is increasingly becoming that kind of digital native person who grew up in the noughties and are interested in data when making a decision. And Bricks and Logic is really designed to do, I think, again, to pick up what Chris said, to put a little bit of data in your back pocket, to put you forward and to press you forward as a data educated agent and to really look to wow these vendors. I popped up on the screen a map. It's a pretty good one, and it's really the heart of sort of where Bricks and Logic gets started in sort of helping you to explain to vendors what the market is actually doing. So education is often a brilliant way to sell, and that's really where we start. So our map, and I'm logged in as a dummy estate agent here. Our map is of England and Wales, and really just covers all of the 28.5, I think, million residential addresses in the area, but really allows you then to sort of drive this and tell a story and really examine what's going on in the property market. You'll all have seen statistics saying, the house prices in England have gone up by 2% in the last 6 months or whatever. And what you can see when you start looking at the data that we've compiled and spent a great deal of time compiling is that it depends entirely on where you are. So at the moment, for example, I'm looking across all of England and Wales across the last 12 months. How have sale prices changed? And by prices, we don't mean land registry prices or something old and in the past. We mean under offer pricing, our best analysis of what under offer pricing is doing around the UK at the moment. And you can see the variation here is huge. So we've got anywhere between dropping 8% up to some very small growth. And we can chop and change this to our heart's content. So we can jump into, look, say, just the last 3 months and see what's happening. And again, it will recolor. We could zoom right into London. Again, it'll readjust and rescale everything for us. We can go right down to individual streets and ultimately individual properties. We can look at the rental markets instead. So again, we have compiled all the data on that and really understanding what's going on and really allowing agents to be in the driving seat when they sit down on the sofa with their iPad in front of their vendor and say, let me tell you what's happening in the market.
Okay, Matthew, I'll tell you what, let's zoom in somewhere, because again, this is what I just love about this. By zooming into a town or a location, you really can get a flavor. And, so if you're in, let's pick an area. There you go.
Depends where you want to go. It's entirely malleable, and we'll go right down to streets, literally right down to individual streets where we work out, what has the property stock on that street done. And I think that's a brilliant place to start. We can ask it lots of brilliant questions as well. Like, it's not just what has the average rental price in this case done, but we could even start saying, well, how do different streets compare on a pound per square foot basis? What's gross yield done? And all these questions can be answered, but visualized in a really easy way for your customer.
So in theory, you could actually screen dump this and put it into a leaflet of some kind, and
Yep.
actually put it through individual streets.
Absolutely, and quite a few of our clients do that. Or leaflets, yes, but also social media, for example. You can screenshot this. You can tell your own story. You can send it across, looking at your own area. It's entirely bespoke and allows your agency really just to again just tell really, really good and compelling stories about what's actually happening in the local area. Because let's face it, national statistics do not help the vendor on a particular street.
Don't.
They need.
So let's just come out slightly, because I must admit, I personally like it when you just come out a little bit and it fills it up. These are some powerful, make you look like a guru, and if by putting it into your marketing, it looks like you know what you're talking about. So yes, there are heat maps, and I know there are heat maps on portals, but this is pound per square foot. You can look at the number of rental properties, with EPC ratings of a certain level. So this is great for landlords. You can look at yields. Just have a quick look at the yields. I just love the yields bit.
So that's gross yield on the area I've zoomed into. So we're looking at anywhere between 2.2% and 7%. And that's obviously in
so if you're a letting agent and you cover London, you could put this out, and by having the platform, it gives you access to these maps, which allows you to create your own marketing. But that's
Absolutely.
not just it, is it? It's not just pretty maps. What else does
No.
do?
So again, what we're doing at Bricks and Logic is we're basically being your little bit of data science service. We want to make sure that we put your best foot forward and build you tools and services around that. So the first thing really is a bit of research before you go to a property. So yes, of course, we have all these beautiful maps, but they're all ultimately derived from what we think is going on at an individual property basis. So type in any property in England or Wales, and we'll have a look, and you can see that ultimately what we've done is we've created what we think it is. So in this case, it's a period of fat, 1,500 square foot, 2-bed. We think what it's worth, both for sales and for rental, and how this has changed over time, which is really important. And then that full Bible of information you might expect to see, sort of lease histories and broadband speeds and schools and all these various little things all here. So at the heart of it is an individual piece of data for every single property. And then that can be aggregated up on our beautiful maps as we sort of move out and look at it on a wider level. But then on top of that, we've built a whole bunch of tools and applications for agents to help you win business and to help you put your best foot forward. So, for example, very quickly, we might want to do some comparative market analysis. So we will look at an individual property and we'll see, well, what has sold nearby, make all the adjustments required. We have several surveyors using this now for exactly this reason, make all the adjustments required to select the individual properties I want to construct the val. So I might say, I don't want to use that one, but I do want to use that one and that one. And we will basically go and produce a market valuation based on these as comparables. And then I want to send my client a beautiful report afterwards to, encompassing all this data with all the beautiful maps, and get that across as a fantastic digital report. Again, all embedded and built into the platform. But if that wasn't enough, I sound like a cheap salesman. One of the things we've recently deployed are tools for our estate agents' website. So, for example, I'm going to look at one of our clients.
So just before we go, this produces a free valuation report electronically and PDF.
Yes, it can also do printable.
That you can take to the appointment, all logoed up, that makes you look awesome. Yeah. And you can, as I said, it's electronic and hard copy if you want to print it off. So it makes you look like a guru.
Absolutely. Some of our clients really love to have nice PDF stuff that they can print out. Others very happy with digital reports. They look absolutely fantastic on mobile, on tablet. It's it's where this is going.
Very pretty maps that know what you're talking about. PDF reports pre-val that are actually mint and look the part, all logoed up to an inch of your life. Okay, and then that's great when you're at the appointment. How can Bricks and Logic get you more vals in the first place?
Sure. I mean, a lot of what we've been doing recently is helping estate agents really datafy their own online presence and to really make themselves the first port of call for people who are looking to start that process of selling or renting their house. So, for example, one of the things most recently deployed has been statistics for our clients' website. So every one of our clients now have statistic pages, so data, and essentially a little mini website, a little mini Bricks and Logic in their own colors on their own website, fully interacting with their local areas that we of course support and deploy. But also we've deployed several tools now as well, which allow for your customers, your visitors to your website to start to engage with you and ask some key questions. So the two key questions are, what is my house worth? So we've built this really, really accurate valuation tool for your website that as its output produces beautiful digital reports, which I'll show you in a second. And secondarily, the world is all green at the moment. Being green is really important. Am I green? How could I get greener? And again, allowing this to all be questions that can be answered for you and your clients in your branding and on your website.
So if you had to distill that down, we've got something with pretty maps that make you look awesome.
Yep.
We have a widget for your website which shows data that makes you look good. We have something else for the website, which is an AVM model, which it asks the person to put their data in. We capture it and they get a pretty report, which isn't just a valuation, it's a valuation in a pretty report. Exactly. And which there are others out there that do that.
Yes, there are.
But not with pretty maps and things, just a val. But this is unique. I've not come across this. So basically, how green is your property? And what happens is the person, so they're not looking for a val, they're just looking to see how green their property is, but we're going to capture the vendor's details.
Exactly. So, it is what people are asking at the moment, is what people are talking about is, how green is my property? And essentially a good local agent, we want to give you the tools to be part of that conversation, to getting these conversations going at the beginning.
And if you think about it, there's plenty of estate agents out there that are doing Facebook campaigns where there is, do you want to fit here to find out what your house is worth?
Exactly.
This is quite unique, is find out how green your property is, but they have to put their details in, and that's some leads for the agents to nurture across.
Absolutely.
6 or 12 months. Put up a good, decent Facebook campaign behind this. This is quite unique. So is there I don't think there's anything else that you've got to show me today. Is there?
I think in terms of we've summarized it quite well in terms of, we are there to be your sort of data science assister and really help you guys put your best foot forward, be it initial research on a property and pulling all the data together, to be it to visualizing that for your customers, and a host of additional tools that we can add on to sort of get those conversations started and put
Matthew,
you guys at the center.
Stop sharing and bring it back to you, because let's just do the final words when we're shared together. I think, ladies and gentlemen, you can see why I genuinely do love this. I actually have been playing with the site myself and been testing it out with a number of my clients by putting those maps into kind of like a PDF JPEG, and the feedback we're getting from those is amazing. And we're not even talking about the VAL reports and the EPC reports, but the fundamental thing is people want to do business with an estate agent or letting agent that knows what they're talking about. And if all you're doing is just posting about yourself and your rewards and how awesome you are and what you've let, no one really cares. But if you talk about the one thing that everyone is interested in, after the weather, the property market is the most interesting topic in the world to the Brits. If you've got something that's visual, that looks the part, then you can see why I genuinely do love this bit of kit. And again, I must stress to you, I'm not being paid to do this video. Yes, I get to play with the website myself, and in fact, I give Matthew ideas on the best way to use it. But Matthew, how much does this cost? It looks very expensive.
No, it's absolutely not. So we're £100 per office per month. And we do require that estate agents connect their data to it. And I can explain in another video or later as to why that is, but that's the cost.
And you give training and support on reports, and you do all the widgets and all that malarkey.
Everything we've done is designed to be immediately white labeled and therefore to absorb the agent branding immediately. So this all is deployed in the agent colors. Looks great.
No, well, as I said, when I see something I like to shout about it. And ladies and gentlemen, do give Matthew a shout. I will be tagging him in this video. And again, Matthew, feel free to use this video yourself. And again, I must stress, I've not been paid. I do get to use the website to play with it, and we test it on some of my clients, but that's it. Do check it out. It is game-changing stuff.